Biafra, superstars, media.
My men are here. The finance minister is here. Adadiolamma is here. Interesting. Pastor Vam. This is not a blessing. I am here with Adadiolamma and
na dragon ka we kpokoro tayo ọnụ ogosi na nwanna amaka onye ọnwụ na-asị na ndị Igbo afọ onwe fa n'anya na-eme onye ahụ ife too much of love.
Too much of love. Yes, still on the Helsinki Biafra self-referendum convention. That's a Vam here. I'll just record my whole life. I just make a post here. Adadiolamma here. My finance minister is here. That's still here. It's still happening. That is here. And the thing is that we are on the ground. This is a shopping complex on the ground, a very superb. We just came up from the second floor. We were right on the fourth floor on the ground. Here we are now on the first floor.
We're going to bring to Biafra.
We are Chineke.
Yeah.
We are bringing a massive development to Biafra.
My people, my Biafra people, now how on a day? How on a day today? I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazinam Dekano. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless, oh my God, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, His Excellency, ESN, Ekpa, Simon and Joku, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you. We appreciate you, we love you, because we know in your hands Biafra has come. In your hands Biafra will be safe. And in your hands, now that Biafra has come, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When I say the people, I mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the sick, the mild, the civilized and the uncivilized. I repeat, the civilized and the uncivilized. The uncivilized. The uncivilized. The uncivilized. Those born in Biafra and those born in the bite of Biafra. We shall all come together under one voice, under one accord, under one union, and scream for Hallelujah Day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. Fellow Biafrans, it is sad. They say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, the shame is on me. Fellow Biafrans, what you are seeing today was during the convention in Helsinki in Finland. In this video, you see Vam, Adadiolamma, Ogenkiri, and the head of the CRC group, the Reconciliation Council, or whatever they call it. What this tells you is that before all this problem started, before all this squabble, the debacle we are having, they were all best of friends. At least in this video, you could tell there was a good relationship. And today, we are hearing what is happening. Today, we are hearing something new. That our sister, Adadiolamma, a lady that we love so much. Everybody loves her. Everybody loves Adadiolamma, because I even call her the spiritual oracle of Biafra, or one of the oracles of Biafra. My heart is heavy, God. I don't want to do this video. My heart is heavy, but it has to be done. It has to be done. Because we forgive her the first time she came back. We forgive her again the second time. And now the third time she has done the same thing again. This one is even worse. This one is worse. So before I made this analysis, I said, let me go back to history. Let me take it back to memory lane. And then I'll be able to mix everything up and create a timeline to understand where this misunderstanding started from. And what can happen going forward. The danger of what can happen going forward. So before we analyze the video of our sister, Adadiolamma, I want you to see how things were before this problem. And then you'll understand what is about to come. Now that they have formed a union, something big will happen going forward. You see me, I take my time to break things down. Because Adadiolamma, the first thing you should have asked, whichever way you got the audio, I don't care how you got the video, whichever way you got it, you should have asked, PM, what message have you got for Vam Vam Vam? That is to test, to know if Obatobie has access to the internet to be seeing what is happening. Because last time I checked, he was kept incommunicado. You see, Nigeria knew what they were doing with Finland. When they said, keep him somewhere, we have a plan A and plan B, keep him somewhere. And the ship was scattered. They were hoping that when they keep the shepherd somewhere, the whole flocks will scatter. So, to my sister, before I start this video, out of the box, I want to ask her, my sister Adadiolamma, they asked you yesterday, say, how did you get the message? Is it an audio? You said no. Even though we heard Sabinapaka cannot call outside of Finland, where he's been held. He is held under Incommunicado. It means, say, he cannot communicate with the outside world. Simon Ekpa cannot communicate with the outside world because one of the charges, according to the zoo, is that he is using his platform, his social media platform, to create all those so-called terrorism, whatever they said, in that zoo called Nigeria. That dirty, godforsaken zoo called Nigeria. So it means when Finland is holding him, they will not give him access to internet. So it's whatever they feed to him that he will spill out. What do I mean? Whatever information Marianne takes to Obatobie is what he will spill out. Because he doesn't have access to internet. Yes, there is gym, there is good food, there is radio, probably TV, but you will not have access to the internet. In a place like that, where they kept him. Where they kept him is like expecting somebody like Bin Laden, when the US kept him in Guantanamo Bay, expecting him to have access to internet. It is not done, to call a spade a spade. I've been keeping this to myself to make sure I don't break the hearts of the Biafrans and the elderly ones. So please, today, I want you to know that Obatobie doesn't have access to the internet. He is not seeing what is happening in the outside world. A good example was when Fela said, when he was in prison, he called it inside world. When he was in outside of prison, he called it outside world. Obatobie does not have access to the internet. So, before we play this video and discuss this, our sister, out of the gate, I'm asking her, we have seen Vam 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 insult almost all the women in the movement. And we know Simon Ekpa is a respecter of the women. He will not sit back and watch them attack the women of Biafra. Even you, they broke eggs on your head. Adadiolamma. Vam 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 broke eggs on your head. And it's been, insulting, in fact, assaulting the deputy prime minister all this while. So for you to test the quality of the message that came from Obatobie, What you should have done if you spoke phone to phone with him. I've given the secret out now. Now they will use it and go and play fast one. But people like us, when you get sense, what you would have done, Adadiolamma, is to ask Obatobie, okay, I've heard your message, but what message have you got for Vam? That's to test, to see if he has access to the internet, to know what is happening, the atrocities happening in the social media. Bet me, he will say nothing. What do you mean, Vam? Because he is not seeing what Vam has been doing in the social media space. So that flaws any message he gives you, telling us to fall back. It flaws any argument, any instruction from Obatobie asking us to fall back. I don't care if the voice is AI or whatever. All I'm saying is this. For the fact Obatobie does not have access to see what is happening, then his judgment is clouded. It has defeated the purpose of the message. So yes, perhaps he called your phone and left voicemail, or he left a voicemail to Marian and Marian forwarded the voicemail to you. Yes, perhaps. During her visit, Marian, recorded him speaking, asking you to make sure you stop doing what you are doing. Everybody should fall back and stop, stabbing him at the back. Yes, perhaps. But it is only when he gets the full picture that he will understand what is happening. And he will now have a good judgment to decide on the right way to go. Fellow Biafrans, this video you are watching means a lot. It means a lot because now that they have become friends again, whether you like it or not, now they are back as friends. For the fact she said we should go back, and she came to give the message saying that we should fall back, it means she is back with Brgie. Adadiolamma is back with Brgie because she told us to fall back. So don't expect things to be easy going forward. This video tells a lot. As God will have it, this morning, this video fell on my hand. So expect the next thing coming for the USB to be rough, rugged, and raw. Expect war. They will bring war. They will try to divide the house. They will do everything unthinkable. Because now, they now have the woman they wanted in their team, in their camp. Biafrans, I want you to be strong. Because the Obatobie I know is a respecter of women. Anybody who saw what Vam has been doing all this while, insulting all the women in Biafra land and in the government, you and I know, say, if there is any message talking about, oh, the media should stop fighting war, it should go to Vam. If Obatobie was seeing everything happening on social media, then you know he would speak harshly to Pastor Vam. So I expected our sister Adadiolamma to use psychology. That's why people like us, in fact, please, in the government, only use educated people and technocrats. I'm sorry, I will say this. This is the problem with people who don't have that foresight, high sense and foresight. They fall for everything. They can easily be swayed, cajoled into making a mistake. You got a video, an audio, or whatever you got. The first thing you would do, you say, okay, Obatobie, is that you? Okay, I've gotten your message that we should all fall back to Brgie, eh? Okay. But Obatobie, I have a question for you. What message have you got for Vam, Pastor Vam? That's a coded message to test the hypothesis, to know if the man who is telling me this thing has a perfect knowledge of what is happening in the outside world. Because I know that Simon Ekpa has not been given access to what we are doing. He has not seen any video we are doing all this while. This was the plan, the intention of Nigeria and Finland. Don't be deceived. They will keep you somewhere. They will give you the best of food. Oh, do you want to do gym? There is a gym there from 9 a.m. till 12 in the afternoon. But you are in a solitary confinement. It means, say, you only get fresh air and sunlight. No internet. And you only get visitation from your legal team, your family, and a conjugal visitation. Conjugal, it means your wife or your fiancé can come and have a good time with you. So fellow Biafrans, now that I've painted this picture, I've shown you what you need to see to understand the psychology of what is happening now. What is to happen from this day going forward. Because that is what we are seeing now. They are now a team. They have come back together. For the fact Adadiolamma gave us that message, telling us to fall back, telling the Biafrans to fall back, it means she has already made her own choice to fall back. A very sore kind of person to do. And I'm asking you all, will you forgive her again? This is the third time. Biafrans, I'll leave you to be the judge as I start with analysis of the video. If you are ready, let's go there. Watch this. Listen. Okay.
Social media. Mana no nwere ka mmadụ si awo bekata akwa obi akpochienya. Obi esuchienya. Even osukwa wulanya milia ya atopuze again.
What did that? She say, you know, we now know her as the woman that cries a lot on social media. But there will come a time when somebody will cry and cry and cry. And before you know it, there will be no more tears to cry. And their hearts will now be locked up. As strong as that of a stone. I agree. Because sometimes, if you get to a stage where you want to cry, there'll be no tears to run down your eye. Let's continue. Let's continue. I want to go somewhere with this one. I want to lay the foundation now before we start to go deeper into what she said. I will try to translate in English for those who are not speakers of Igbo. Let's continue. My heart is strong. My heart is very, very strong right now.
Yesterday, Kambia weku Nya Kankunoku. I don't surprise. Ijaja bata now. When I got through my message, I can't get a phone in Jano life, a Jimmy a joy, a Jimmy a jollo, and I may do it no. When I get message, the mother send the limu. Where I turn a messages. See that na mwa wa damu no lemi juice. When eke also IA voice or bato bie. Onye man only voice in send the that person put up your no one can send the voice.
Hold it there. She said quickly, I'll make it very, very brief. She said she's been going all the while. She went to work and you know, she didn't take her YouTube phone to work. And when she came back, she was going through the messages and she saw people saying that, oh, she herself and Remedios, they've been sharing AI doctored voices of Simon Ekpa. That she has been spreading an audio done by Simon Ekpa, but it was AI. So she's not done so she was angry about that type of lie being told in her name. Let's continue.
Voice voice.
Okay. Now listen.
Also, ready of everything.
Okay.
You're going move on already. I don't think I'm ready. Every go make a Pentecost.
Okay.
I leave a message. When every media team stop Ibamba in work.
Okay.
Let us focus. And then message go. Yes, true. Obatobia send the message. Anybody. Nobody knows how that message comes.
Okay.
Nobody knows when what the message.
Okay.
And the woman on young Guaria. Ndumwa idea mwelo baka na message jo send the kwele mwa wa dande mbonandeke. Ongo kwalando send the Guaria. Ongo jena Twitter now yesterday. Sunday abalawa mere program.
Okay.
When I delivered the message. Yes, also Moses said Biafrans.
Hold it there. Now you should know the psychology behind that. For the fact that Sonia Akbarawa of all people, it means the camp of Ogenkere, Vam 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 and the rest of them, they are telling you, they are forcing you to go and give out the message. It tells you the source, the origin of the message. That it came from the camp of Vam 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 and the rest of them. And it also tells you that those who told Simon Ekpa something came from that same camp. And it also proved the point that I was trying to say all this while, that Simon Ekpa does not have access to social media, to the internet. If he has access to the internet, then he will have a perfect knowledge and understanding of what is going on. And he will not make such an utterance in the message asking us to fall back to Brgie. I understand, don't get me wrong. Even if I'm in a situation, I'm held somewhere in a solitary confinement, and only my ex-wife is coming to see me, and she's feeding me something that Ogenkere is telling her to tell me, then to play it safe. To play it safe, I repeat, underline those words, playing it safe. I will tell them to fall back, but I will not attack the woman I love so much. A woman that I made my chief of staff. The one they call Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. I am putting myself now in the state of mind of Simon Ekpa. Being locked somewhere in a solitary confinement. It means, say, there is no access to internet. Yes, there is good food. Yes, there is gym. Yes, there is fresh air and sunlight. But no access to internet. And suddenly, the one that was my ex-wife, she is coming to tell me, say, my husband or my ex, how are you doing today? And guess what? Ogenkere told me, this your woman, she is causing problem. She created her own government called the USB. She created this, she created that. She formed her own office. She's telling this. Oh my God. Obatobi, I'm so sorry. She's telling Obatobi everything. And the only thing he could say, because sometimes when you don't have the information, the least thing you can say is to fall back to the way it was. Go back to where it was, the way it was when everything was fine, when I was still there. When I come out, I go solve the problem. That's what he's saying. That doesn't mean that's the right thing to do, because we went to the outside world. We know what is happening. We've seen the deviation of Ogenkere and the rest of them. And we've seen how well we are doing with the USB and the rest. So we in the outside world, we will not take that instruction from Simon Ekpa telling us to fall back, because he doesn't have the perfect information to make such a decision. That's me calling a spade a spade. You see, but unfortunately, our sister here now, she's saying that she had a message, but suddenly her enemies are telling her, Adadiolamma, when will you drop the message now? Why are you waiting? Adadiolamma, tell the Biafrans the message. You got a message. Don't forget, on Saturday, during the fundraising, our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, she said, and I quote, the Foreign Affairs team, they sent a letter through the normal channel to Simon Ekpa, and suddenly, those from Ogenkere camp, they wrote them, telling them not to communicate with Ogenkere. I mean, with Simon Ekpa anymore. It means even the channel to communicate with Simon Ekpa, they've blocked it. Somebody is there blocking it. You see, why would I say Nigeria is a criminal enterprise? You guys will not understand. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. You guys, you would think it's just us talking. That they could do what they are doing in Finland. All they did was to test our capacity by begging Finland to hold Simon Ekpa somewhere. Please, keep him somewhere. Incommunicado. Give us till May. And we promise you, we should be able to end this thing called Biafra. It will die a natural death. Give us till May. And Finland came with that law. Because the policy in Finland is, if they even suspect you of terrorism, they can come with that law where they will hold you incommunicado. That's what they are doing to Simon Ekpa now. So if this our sister here has the wisdom and knowledge, all she could have done, it depends on how the audio came. If Simon Ekpa called her direct, that's the only time she will apply this. If he sent the message through a third party, don't respond to that message. Because that message should not be coming from you. You are not part of the cabinet. You have been suspended. So for the fact something like this is coming from you, what you are doing is insubordination. This is how people become spies without even knowing it. This is how you become a spy without knowing it. I won't go to the word saboteur because I still love my sister. I love my sister so much. I won't call her a saboteur. But sometimes that's what they call a UI. When you are doing something, not knowing you are doing it, it is called a useful idiot. The phrase came from the Russians. They were using so many people during those days, during the Cold War era, They call them UI. Useful idiots. You are being useful, but you are an idiot because you know nothing about what you are doing. An idiot is not a word to insult somebody. It just means somebody who doesn't know what they are doing. they have no idea what they are doing. An idiot. They don't know what they are doing. So when they say you are a useful idiot, it means you are a good tool to be used by the puppet master, by the Nigerian cabal, through their agencies. Okay, this lady, she is talking too much. Oh. This lady is loved by the Biafran people. So let us use her. First, she came with the story of 50 million given to who? Caterpillar. And the Biafrans were angry with the government. There was a commotion, but we thank God, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze was able to deal with that problem. And our sister came out to apologize. She was in tears. And for the first time, I chose to pick on the video. And I begged the Biafrans to forgive her. I said, Adadiolamma, you are forgiven. Go and sin no more. But less than 7 days. Oh my God. Oh my God, have mercy. After they've forgiven you, Biafrans have forgiven you. We forgot what you did because we love you so much. You came back to drop the biggest bomb, a bombshell, by saying Simon Ekpa sent you a message. And now we're asking you, how did you get the message? You refuse to tell us. It means there is a clause there. There is a comma there, a question mark there. You refuse to tell us how you got it. My sister, all what you should have done, if it was a real phone call, which I doubt, but the only message you will entertain should come as a direct phone call from Simon Ekpa. Then when in call, you say, Adadiolamma, how are you? Okay. I have spoken to the DPM. She refused to respond. I am calling upon you now to please tell the Biafrans to fall back to Brgie. The next thing I expect you to do, to use logic, to understand his state of mind, is to say, okay, Simon Ekpa, I've heard you. I've heard you. I'm so happy to hear you. But I have a question for you. Obatobi, what message have you got for Vam Vam Vam? That's all. Obatobi, what message have you got for Pastor Vam Vam Vam? You ended there. That's a coded question. We call it an open question. It will now propel Obatobi to speak out based on the knowledge, information he has of Pastor Vam 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 since he was held in the month of November. Whatever he tells you then will now make you to understand the capacity of the knowledge Obatobi has before he's telling you or coming with an authority to tell you to tell us to fall back. I know now that I've said this now, they will now go behind closed doors, make a plan. Say, okay, Marian, when you go back to Simon Ekpa, tell him to just say, Vam Vam Vam, stop insulting Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Vam Vam Vam, stop insulting the women of Biafra. I know they will do this now. But somebody like me, if Obatobi is coming to me to tell me something, even though we have a channel we communicate with before he was held, I would need to know the capacity of knowledge he has based on where he's been held. And there's a coded question you will ask him. Somebody who has been locked up will not have the answer. So in the case of what message have you got for Vam Vam Vam, Obatobi will not have the answer. Quickly, they will cut a phone call. Boom. Because they don't want him to say, what do you mean by Vam Vam Vam? Or Guinea Come. What's happened to Vam Vam Vam? What's going on? What's going on that you're not telling me? What is he doing? What is wrong with Vam Vam Vam? From his response, you will not know that Obatobi is not even seeing what we are doing. Since the declaration, he has not seen anything. People follow who know road. This is our job role now. This is our field. This is our field. This is why Nigeria pleaded with Finland to follow this path. Hold him somewhere. We know he has done nothing wrong, but please find a way to hold him somewhere. Keep him somewhere for us. And we promise you, this thing called Biafra will die in natural death. So my sister, I understand you are here to say you had a message and you are angry, you are, but your capacity, you are not the one to be telling us such things. I'm sorry. In most cases, you are not the one to tell us such. On whose authority are you speaking from? On whose authority? It's not done that way. You don't have the capacity to speak. Even remember back in the zoo during that time, Abacha and Dia, they said he wanted to plan a coup. He was trying to reach who? Abacha. Just to test the ground. He tried every way he could to reach Abacha. He spoke to all the staff around Abacha, but they could not take the message to Abacha because they don't have the capacity, the authority to say, Abacha, there is a message from Dia to you. It's not done. They'll say, how dare you speak on that level? They cannot do it. So for you to be telling us there is a message for the 80 million Biafrans to fall back to Brgie, on what capacity are you speaking from? Are you are you the information minister or secretary of Biafra? This is the problem we have. Sometimes I try to be careful, but education is key. Education is key, my people. I'm sorry. I know people have local knowledge, something you grow up with, those tools, that foundation that helps to guide you. Yes. But education is key so that you will now understand what they call the scala or the, of authority, the hierarchy. Say there are some things somebody at this grade cannot do. There are some news, information somebody at this level cannot tell the Biafrans. Unless you are the Secretary of Communication, Secretary of Information, you have no business speaking to the 80 million Biafrans. Follow the structure. This is the problem I have. When I say this thing, people say, oh, you guys, you are being too pompous. Mr. Know-it-all. No. If you understand the basic foundation, say, come, on this kind of thing, Simon Ekpa has no business coming to you to direct a message. The only reason why they came to you is because they see your influence. That when you speak, Biafrans, they listen because we love you. We love you so much. So the enemy chose to go to Simon Ekpa, told him what they had to tell him. Say, but right now, this girl can, people hear how. They hear her now. So please, give us a message and we'll pass it to her. That's the game. Once they win it to their side, they now believe that Biafrans will follow. But no, we are not stupid. This thing called Biafra is a spirit. Biafra is a spirit. We are not sheep. We don't follow for the sake of following. No, we don't do that. Yes, you have come to say what you said. Even though just last week you were apologizing to the Deputy Prime Minister. My sister, all I'm saying is this. It's okay to say what you are saying, but hold it, because you need to understand one day Obatobie will come out. And where I stand is this. Obatobie is the boss of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. While he is away, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze now stepped up to be doing the job as an acting prime minister. Whenever the prime minister comes back, he will now have the power, the authority to direct the country where he wants to. Biafrans, don't get it mixed up. I've been in some situations that my bigger boss is not around and I am managing his team. Now they love me because I am nice. I make them happy. I give them, easier tasks that are more reasonable. They love me so much for 2-3 weeks. I am their champion. They are buying me lunch. They tell me, please, can I go and, pick up my child by 3 p.m., childcare. I'll say, okay, go. They'll go and come back. They are happy. On their way, they buy me, they buy me drink. They buy me food. They are doing all those things in the office. They love me. But guess what? The moment that boss comes back from his holiday, everything I'm doing ceases to exist. He becomes the boss and he continues the way he used to manage them. They won't say, no, when you were away, your acting boss was so nice to us. Because of that, we must follow the ways of the acting boss. No. Biafrans, don't make that mistake. When Obatobie is back, our Deputy Prime Minister will give account of how far she has gone. And for the first time, Simon Ekpa will now be able to see in reality what we have done. He will go through the whole videos. Probably once he is freed, he will stay at home for like 1 month. He may not speak to us for 1 month. He'll be going through all the videos from sun up to sundown. He'll be watching all the videos from the two camps. And for the first time, he will see Vam 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 the way he was breaking eggs, shouting, Biane, Biane, Biane. He will see all those videos. He will see the way they were insulting Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. Even you, my sister, they will see the way they were insulting you and how you were fighting back. He will now understand why they came and asked him to make a video or an audio to send to you. He will now see why. Okay, because she was active. They now came to me and asked me to write a message or send an audio or call her on voicemail. And he will see everything. Then when he's ready to come out, they will bring their file. Okay, they go bring his own file. Put on beer. Our deputy will put her own file there. He will now look through the account, what they've done. He will now make a decision. Fellow Biafrans, that's how it is. That's how it will be. Whenever the big boss comes back, whenever the prime minister comes back, we must obey the directives of the prime minister. So what I'm saying is different from what this lady is saying here. She is saying that PM is saying we should fall back. But you have not checked the condition of PM. I'm the one saying that we should have one of the best lawyers in the world to take care of PM, because from my own perspective, I'm not happy what Finland is doing. But Finland, they have their own law. They have how to do their own stuff. And for what we are hearing, you can only have 2 lawyers, one from the local and one from the international. But all I can tell you all today, before we hear our sister speak, is that Simon Ekpa has no access to the internet. Because one of the major crimes against him that they lied was that he was on social media doing what he was doing, causing the problems. So there is no way they will put him in a section where there is social media. Please, believe me on this one. So Simon Ekpa does not know what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing, what Oge Nkere is doing, what Vam 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 is doing, what Nigeria is doing, and the rest. He does not have a clue. The only info he's getting is from the people allowed to see him in the detention area. Unfortunately, Oge Nkere don't penetrate those people. And now they are feeding him a wrong information. But we thank God. See, Obatobi has not come to insult or disrespect Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. All he said is for us to fall back. But we went in the outside world. Oh my God. We, the people of Biafra, we know what is happening. We have the information. We have heard from both parties. We have heard from Brgie. We have heard from USB. We know who is doing what and who is doing what. And now we now know that based on our analysis, the camp we choose to follow is the camp of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. While some people, they are also following the camp of Oge Nkere. Fine. So be it. Let it be that way until our PM comes out to give the final judgment. At this point, I will allow my sister to speak for you all to hear what she said in her so-called message. Let's continue.
So because of Unamezi Behosi, Ezri Muzie Biafrans, Kandom the Madi Nas no I Egoja Mbembe Woptazozia. Biafrans, Kedo Badine, where are we going?
Okay.
Where are we going? Ekube Moku, Ezibe Mozi, Edu Golden and WhatsApp group. Nas Namuwa Dandem Bonandegide. No, let me choose. Neke I-N. Also I-A, I saw GP, madam. Neke Ziyan, Koya Woputazi, Beze Ziozi. Atmuzie, Ebwejabugo Hozo, Ochienya, Manakanju Godi. What is going on? No, now what is going on?
Ask me again.
since Kandami Kemelun good rog, where will it bana? And I'm a man on the naked and damifa. That's cipher. I am a woman, deep war. Yeah, but I fight. Can with our freedom. I am a buying a co on an aquas in a social media. Ambazonia with Ambazonia now. I am caught on a social media. Even on a mepadai. Nana can go. The first one a nego. The second one I had easy. It can never be easy. Nana can go. Not now. What a message dilate from the man. What this is struggle.
Listen.
Which not good happy.
Listen. Hold it there. He said not now. God have mercy. First time she left it. Second time, not now that she's gotten a direct message from the man that made her to come out in this movement. She was thinking the man was crazy. He was dead. He was mentally deranged. The man Simon Ekpa, not now. I have gotten the message from Simon Ekpa. Not now. Let's continue.
Not knowing not the sound and healthy. Only go to Biafrans, but we go down on it. That's not about the sound that is healthy.
Yes, you are saying it's a time for us to, jubilate that Simon Ekpa is sound and healthy. My sister, we already know all that. We know nothing is wrong with Simon Ekpa. The only problem is where he's held is called a solitary confinement. My sister, go and check him. It is worse than putting somebody in a hole. That place, you are OYO on your own. No internet. Only thing you have is fresh air, sunlight, and sometimes some magazines to read or books to read. I know this, but I try not to say these things so that the elderly amongst us will not have problem. But that's the fact. So he's fine. We know he's fine. We know he's safe in Finland. But the problem is they kept him in a solitary confinement. He has no access to even this your video. If he does, the first message he will give will be to Vam and warn him for breaking eggs in the name of everyone in the movement. That's logic. That's you applying wisdom. That's you testing the hypothesis to know the condition of Simon Ekpa. Does he have a perfect knowledge of what is going on in the movement right now? Let me test it. Let me ask him a question. That's how it's done. A question should not be one way because they sent you something and now you are hiding it. You don't want to tell us when, how, what is the format of the message. You are hiding it. It means that in get K-leg. There is a comma in that message. If na audio, play the audio. Let us hear the audio. If na message, talk the message. If na phone call, then I expected you to ask a coded question to Obatobi. Oh my God. You guys are so lucky. Hey, my God, have mercy. There is so much I can say, but I won't say it. Okay, Nkere. Okay, Nkere, tell Obatobi. Say, Biafra Superstars Media said he should send a message based on the way we communicate to me. If he can do that, then I will know he has access to the internet. When I say I am Obatobi or I am Simon Ekpa and Simon Ekpa is me, some of you don't understand. One day, you will understand what I mean by that saying. For the fact some few things I dropped there is no feedback. Since he was held, I know he has no access to the internet. This job, then share this job. Them share this job. Maintain what you're supposed to do, my sister. You are in the media, maintain your position. People will love you because you are doing well. You are speaking to the grassroots. But don't make that love to enter your head. And now you are thinking you are bigger than the government. Eh? You are an independent media. Why will our Prime Minister speak to you being an independent media? It's because of your level of influence. Ogenkere, they saw how you, with your media, you destroyed them. God, I call a spade a spade. You did a good job by destroying and dismantling Ogenkere and the rest of them. Biafrans now loved you more. You were doing well. Your media was growing big. We loved you. But every week, you kept on changing. That was my worry. Why are you angry? Based on you have everything now. The media is there. People are watching your video. People are happy with you. They call your video. They call your phone. They talk. They give their own perspective. Why are you still angry? That's my question. I now remember your title all the time is Akachuku Dia. Akachuku Dia. Akachuku Dia. There is a coded message or meaning of Akachuku Dia because it makes no sense. Someone is doing a video, all the title now Akachuku Dia. So okay, I see what that means. Because the only time people will use such a statement, I saw a family, their only son, very, very sad one. A boy I grew up with, but we used to play for football, but the guy came from a poor home. Very, very sad one. To make football, this boy now take road. He won't take road go, but he died. And all the mother was saying was, Akachuku Dia, Akachuku Dia. It is God's will. Before the boy went, they say, your son shouldn't do it, though. It is dangerous. She said, Akachuku Dia. And when the boy died in the process, all she was saying was, Akachuku Dia, Akachuku Dia. So that statement, when you foresee something is about to happen, did you know something was to happen? To our sister, Adadiolamma, when you started doing this, your videos, calling it Akachuku Dia, did you know, did you foresee something? Were you privy to an information that a doomsday was coming? Something sad is about to happen to the Prime Minister. Or there was a plan, a plot. You heard of a rumor that something will happen to Simon Ekpa before it happened. Because I know that your title, Akachuku Dia, is coded. It is coded. It is coded. The other one, this man went to marry somebody else. The wife, people came to console her. All she was saying was, well, you know, she felt like everything was good. No problem. The man now married two wives. Next thing, this man died of poisoning. This woman did not cry. All she was saying was, Akachuku Dia, Akachuku Dia, Akachuku Dia. So all those years, I was wondering, why would they come with that phrase? She didn't shed tears. Even in the burial, she no cry. Akachuku Dia, Akachuku Dia. She felt good about it. It means she knew something. She knew what nobody else knew. So this is me thinking out loud. I am thinking out loud. That title of your videos, Akachuku Dia. Hey, God. I knew something was up. I knew something was brewing. Something was cooking. Hence, I called you the oracle of Biafra because you saw something. I knew it. When your videos every day you are doing Akachuku Dia, I knew something was about to happen. I knew it because that title, it took me back to that young boy who tried to find his way to Europe to go and play football, but died in the desert. And it took me back to my auntie who married a rich man. Despite we warned her, she married a rich man. Next thing, this rich man won't get 2 wives. And when he died, all she was saying was, Udodi, Udo, Akachukudia. Udodi, Akachukudia. Let's continue. Eh?
But the message about deliver Biafra, we deliver that message.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not, tell me, can't get anything else, Rogi. I don't care. Every day I share on a WhatsApp group. Now let me just say AKIA.
On whose authority are you speaking? That's the problem. On whose capacity? On whose authority? We have a government now. Oh, Biafrans. We have a long way to go. Biafrans. Hey! We have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. Eh? Nigeria don't destroy us. Our psychology, our ability to reason, Nigeria has stolen that from most of you. That every Tom, Dick, and Harry can come and say, I have a message from the king. And you all be on whose authority? That's the first question you will ask. On what capacity are you giving us this message? If the message came from our deputy prime minister, fine. She has the authority, the ability, the capacity to speak on that. But you, my sister, now, you were a member of the cabinet, you were suspended for 2 weeks, you were angry about the suspension, and you say you will not go back. Then they gave you 1 month suspension, and you said, in fact, you don't resign from the government. Don't call me back, I will not go back. You were happy. You said you were happy with the suspension, that now you are free to do your stuff. You are no longer government, you are now free to speak like the other, maybe people like us that are independent. Fine. So if me cannot come and say, in the authority I'm telling you, Sabenepa said this, why should you have the authority to say such? So when you speak, Biafra should ask you, on whose authority? I will go back. 2 people ask you a very good question. I will get there. On whose authority are you speaking? Who are you to speak to the Biafrans? Ah, man. My people are lame. Now I'm going to say, our people are lame. Anybody can come and speak, and you accept. Like a zombie. On whose authority is she speaking on? That's the question none of you have asked her. On whose authority are you speaking on? This message that they gave to you, why you? What authority do you have? What capacity? What job role do you have in the government of Biafra? We now have a government, so you are speaking to us as subjects under the government headed by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze in the absence of Simon Ekpa. So on whose authority are you speaking? Huh? At least me, I don't want to do this video to my sister. I love my sister so much. Don't get it wrong, people. This is not me scolding my sister. I love her so much till this day. But when I see the truth, I must speak the truth now. That I love somebody does not mean I will not speak the truth. That will make me a hypocrite. I am not a hypocrite. Okay, let me fall back. Listen.
Can digest teacher go to the joy. Because I'm gonna make the message.
Kuya.
I'm gonna
why? AI.
What is going on?
Nothing is going on. Nothing is going on.
Our land is under siege. Then one man send the Mundo Frani to Maburi Kocha.
Rest in
Only
peace.
other man now be kidnapped. Well, like Daga Sudi Kochafa, or if you can run down Kama.
Rest in peace to that one that died.
If you can survive, run man, I didn't all survive good year now. I am a cheer. I know they ban a social media cover, social media walk again.
What is going on?
All the social medias. The answer no one if Rananya go to say about war on social media.
Hold it there. Obatobe told all members of the social media that if you love him, stop going to war in social media. Do you now see? He is very specific on what they told him about the war going on in the social media. How come he did not give a message to Vam Vam Vam, the arrowhead of the war, the beginning of the problem? Vam 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 has been insulting all our women, and we know that's something, it is against the law in Biafra land to insult the women of Biafra, to abuse them. How come Obatobe did not speak on that? He's speaking on a general term. Oh, the media, stop going to war. Who is going to war? Because the story is we are the ones, we in the camp of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, we are the ones taking the war to Ogenkere. That's the lie. That's the fallacy in the information given to Obatobe. Hence, he came to you through their, telling you to please tell us to stop going to war. Hey, my people, do you now see where? Because me, I took my time to decode and decipher the message that she got. And I saw it came from the camp of Ogenkere, Marian, who is the source that have access to Simon Ekpa. The only access Ogenkere has is through Marian, the ex-wife of Simon Ekpa. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Take it back. Watch this. Listen. Listen.
All the social medias. The answer no one if Rananya go to say about war on social media. No one if Rananya go to say about war on social media.
Okay.
I do because of Okwa Kanji say. Ekpa di godumu. Na mama ya fazigi because all that is from above.
Okay.
All that is from above.
Above.
And I will respect that order to the end.
Hey!
Manama de push for them. Because Nankembu, Emily, the whole Biafrans turn against me.
Listen.
Everybody turn against me.
Listen.
I was alone.
Listen.
Did you?
You were not alone to call a spade a spade. Some of us, we fought for you. So many people, they begged on your behalf. And when you came back to apologize, some of us, we also accepted you. I made a video, the first video I made, despite all the saga. I came and I said, welcome back. We forgive you. Cry no more. Go and sin no more. That was the video I made. So don't say everybody, all Biafrans were against you. Don't say that. Don't say that. People were still riding for you. Keep going, Ada. We love you. Do you know? Jisike, we love you. We love. People were doing that. So don't say all Biafrans were against you. Don't say that. And you know the reason why that happened. Because then you were going against the government. You felt you now had more power than the government. You see me, I call a spade, though. I don't know how to tell lies. What you were doing then was wrong because you were challenging the deputy prime minister. You were challenging her. For you to say, there should be no fundraising on Twitter. In the time, I mean, who are you to say that? What power, what authority have you got to say such? Think I'm now. Insubordination. The moment you did that, you have gone against the government. You don't do such. You can only give your own view, your own point of view. Say, okay, the government is saying they want to do this, so, but, on Twitter, we may not know who is who, all those things, and, then fine. You can say that, but don't say, if they try them, you go deal with them, anybody that tries it, Oh, I heard you will want to do matching. That's stupid matching, If you try that matching, I would. Can you imagine that? It's not nice, Ada. It's not nice. So that was the problem you had that time. The moment you went against the government, then the government will have to react, put you in your place to let you know they are in charge. They are in authority. They are the ones legislating the government and the rest of them. They are in control. The moment they look weak, then you have destroyed them. So they have to put you in your place to let you know who is the boss, who is in charge. Let's continue. Continue.
Idiot. Oh, idiot can wonder me a idiot or they and they will have me idiot. And I run my channel I'm idiot. Idiot. You live any well on my chat anyway. Jamie fed the gimpa. You will again on my platform I'm idiot.
Oh.
Up on them Murugi. Even I social media, again on my platform Unkemua. Up on Negi. Ye from Negi Polia. No matter the insult. In fact, our baptism gomo wemu. Eme gomo one baptism with insult. You can sort how much you can. Nukwasa ufuwa. Obelas nizu kanabo. And the way he came out, he delivered the message.
Okay, wait there, my sister. You say in that zoo, idiot means something else. I understand that. In the Yoruba, they will say idiot doti. Idiot too. Idiot doti is different. But the real word of idiot means somebody who is ignorant to something. It's a Latin word, idiota. Latin. The Greeks, they call it idiotes. A private person, a layman or layperson, an ignorant person, somebody who is ignorant. So you need to sometimes they will say somebody of low intelligence in the information that you are spewing. Like I said, in the hierarchy of the government, you don't have the power to be saying what you are saying now. On what capacity? I said it just now. So that, that will classify you as an idiot based on the fact you don't have the capacity to say what you are saying now. How else can I paint this picture for you to understand? Say, sometimes things like this cannot come from you. You are being a private person. You are no more part of the government. So why must we, 80 million Biafrans, listen to you and not to the deputy prime minister? DPM says we remain in USB. You come as your own person, a private person, saying we should go back to what? Brgie. That you had a message from Simon Ekpa. So I'm asking, on what capacity are you speaking from? On whose authority are you speaking from? That's the thing. So somebody will not get the capacity to speak. To the French back then, to the Greeks, they will say, oh, it's an idiot. He is ignorant. He is a layman's view. A private person went to himself, doesn't know what is happening. And they give him a chance and they are saying something else. That's how it is. Continue, I beg.
Ezri Muzie Biafrans. I will deliver it.
Hey!
Ono boya IA, no abato bianguram.
Onondo is
And
alive.
it will come out. What is all this? Can only Biafra and Chadifa?
What's
Can only
going on?
share this rubbish?
What's going on?
Because him and that message bia. Keep go do so. Just poison their mind.
No.
Keep go do so. Just destroy their heart. Poison never go out the message. There's a pam.
Why are you keeping the message now? Akbarawa don't say, Adadiolamma, you have a message. Say the message. Why are you holding it? Why are you hiding it? The enemy, the other camp, they know the message already. So why are you keeping it now? Vam knows the message. Why are you keeping it? Ogenkere knows the message. So why are you holding it back? The CRC, they know the message you have. So why are you holding it back? That's the question. You're asking what is going on. No, we should ask you, why are you doing this? Just last week, you asked for the forgiveness of the Biafrans. And with open hands, we were happy. I was so happy that I said, okay, let me make a video and confirm and say, Ada, you are forgiven. Cry no more. God, amen. God. Oh, Chukwago. It's very, very sad. This is a laughable situation. Somebody would just beg us last week. We say, okay, you are forgiven. Go and sin no more. If they give me, okay, now I understand. That's your song. Now I understand it. If they give me, if they give me, if they give me, if they give me, oh give me, oh give me, if they give me never time. I understand it now. I understand the code in that song. Things are happening. To call a spade, things are happening. But we that have high sense and foresight, we shall not fall for those gimmicks. My only fear, my only worry is for the vulnerable ones, the old ones, the weak ones, the uncivilized ones. Those are my fear, because if you look at it now in the spectrum, they are more in number. What they are waiting for is to say, do this, and they will do it. So I am praying that, please, the government of Biafra, USB, should come out and debunk this nonsense, allay the fears and the worries of the Biafrans, and let them know we shall keep on doing what we are doing until Obatobie is out. When he's out, we will now present the dossier to him to see for himself how far we've gone. Let's continue because of time. Organic.
One day. But they are not going to Nigeria. He will come out.
Well, yes, he will. He will come out to make a decision. That's what you should be saying. He will come out to make a decision.
He will come out
to make a decision. That's what you should be saying. My people, hold on here, I beg. Hold on here. Very, very sad. Can you now see the problem, the danger of this thing called Biafra? Nigeria was hoping for this. Nigeria was praying and begging Finland for this opportunity. So please, we beg you. We know Simon Ekpa is the reason why these people, they love Biafra. Keep him somewhere for us. Let us sign a contract, a deal. We give you gas, we give you oil, but please, keep him somewhere. And we promise you, this thing called Biafra will die a natural death. Keep him somewhere. And the people will revolt. They will fight themselves. They will create camps and cabals. We shall control them and bring them back to Nigerian politics. Tell them to support their governors. Tell them the best way to solve the problem is to create some more states. Bring them back. We'll tell them to solve the problem, we shall create a vigilante in every village and communities to stop the headsmen. They will come back. Our stumbling block is Simon Ekpa. Keep him somewhere for us. And Finland said, well, with all due respect, it is against the Finnish law to do this. Unless you can claim he's a terrorist. If you can come with a terror charge on him, then there is a clause in one of our laws that if someone is suspected of being a terrorist, then we can hold him somewhere, Incommunicado, and investigate every week. But there is a timeline for that. And the maximum we can hold that person will be for 6 to 7 months. I repeat, 6 to 7 months. Think about that. Simon was held in November. We are now in March. Count with me. November to December, 1 month. January, February, March. We are now in 4 months and counting. So God being so kind. You see me, I'm not the type to pander. I call a spade a spade. Let's keep praying. The time we can see Obatobie as a free man will be towards the end of May or sometime in June. If Finland are being fair, they will free him by May. If they are being strict and trying to exploit all the, the leeway they have, they might hold him till June and free him by June. Because Simon has no case to answer. Their only prayer is that people like this will come out and create a confusion, a commotion, a misunderstanding, in-house fighting, a clique, a cabal. And when we start to fight amongst ourselves, we become vulnerable. And before you know it, Nigeria is not having an upper hand. Because Vam is calling USB recharge card, a country named by Simon Ekpa himself. Vam called it the USB recharge card. With our own mouth, we are destroying the legacy of Simon Ekpa. As I wrap this one up, I want to speak to my sister, Adadiolamma. Adadiolamma, you see, what you need to understand is this. Don't take the love of the people for granted. Don't assume that whenever you come and say, Ndambai, I'm sorry, please, forgive me, and you are crying, and we rush to forgive you. You have done it twice now, or 3 times. Twice you've done it. I know you will come back again to apologize. You come back to, because this thing you did, you may not understand the magnitude of the problem you have created. You begged us last week to forgive you. And this week, you are going again against Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. What you have done by your statement that we should return to Brgie. Your actions and inactions. The action is saying return to Brgie. Your inaction is saying that what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing is fraud, it's criminal, and we should abandon it. You may say, no, I didn't say it too, but I warned you all, I schooled you all about actions and inactions. The thing you say and the thing you fail to say, the things you do and the things you fail to do. When you say something is an action, indirectly there's an inaction taking place. So for the fact you are saying we should return to Brgie, when you go deeper, it means we should leave USB and return somewhere, because we are already somewhere. We are somewhere now in USB government as a country, USB. And you are saying we should return to Brgie. It means we should carry our load, wash our hands off Dr. Ngozi and her cabinet and move to Ogenkere. You may not say it, but that's what it means. In the implementation stage, that's where the problem is. What you have said now, you've said it, but to implement what you have said, it means we should carry our load from USB and move to Ogenkere. Adadiolamma. When you got that message, if I was in your shoes, they sent you a message, because Simon Ekpa, I know, will not come to you to do that, because Biafra is not only for the Igbos. So he should have gone to somebody that is neutral. And that will be in the government. It will be in the government. You see? That would be neutral. The government would have been the one to come out to speak. Where somebody from the team of Dr. Ngozi will come out, somebody from Oge's team will come out and say, okay, in our meeting with the PM, he said this. But because we know that what is going on now is fraudulent, because Simon Ekpa has no access to internet. To the Biafrans, I'm sorry. Even to you, my sister, I will tell you, Simon Ekpa has no access to internet. He is not watching your videos. Because me, there is a way I communicate with him that anybody that has internet should see that thing. And the last time that back and forth communication went was when they came officially and said he's been held somewhere. Since then, nothing has come from him. So I knew he had no access to the internet. Even though Finland cannot do him anything, but they could take that internet off him. He has no access to internet. So my sister, you doing this thing now, you have not taken your time to look deeper. Say yes. There are things called true lies. Last month I discussed it. True lies. It is truthful, but it's a lie. Yes, it's the voice of Jacob and the body of Esau. True lies. Abraham heard that voice. This voice sounds like Jacob, but the body, when I touch him, it is hairy like Esau. And that's what happened to you. That's what happened to you. Nigeria is wicked. Nigerian government, they are wicked. They don't want to let Biafra go. And this thing was deliberate. Holding Simon Ekpa somewhere was deliberate. Get that from me now. Keeping Simon Ekpa somewhere was part of the plan. And since then, before then, you were doing your video, Akachukudia, Akachukudia, Akachukudia. I was wondering, why are you doing this? It's strange. The title is strange. Non-stop. It means you heard something before it happened. The same way, the one they call, what's his name again? This Calabar boy for Akbarawa. Ask Simon Ekpa, who will be your second in command if you're not around? He heard something. The same way the Fulani boy they call Dr. Damages. Ask Simon Ekpa, in your absence, who will lead Biafra? My sister, I know you heard something. Because they warned us, Simon Ekpa warned us not to communicate with the men on ground, but you kept on communicating with the men on ground. It's very, very sad, my people. Very, very sad that all this has happened. Nigeria cannot be trusted. They have a plan. And please, I want to plead to the Biafrans not to fall for this plan. Do not allow Nigeria to win. All we have to do is keep on doing what we're doing until our leader is out. When our leader comes out, now, then we shall fall back to the formation, to the leadership of Simon Ekpa. That's what we are saying, because Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing a job on behalf of her leader, Simon Ekpa. So when the leader is back, then she will give the file now, write a report, a business case of how far she has gone. That's how it works. That is how it works, my people. But right now, Simon Ekpa does not have an idea what is happening. He has no idea. Obatobie, I know right now you are not hearing what we are doing. But in due course, when you are back, when you are back, you will shake the mountains. The zoo will know they have failed. So fellow Biafrans, please ignore the naysayers. Ignore the rumor mongers. Ignore the agents of chaos and confusion. Ignore those who don't understand their job role. Ignore those who want to go beyond their scope, their level, their limitations. Ignore those who think they are above the law. Ignore those who think they are gods. Ignore those who think they know more than us. Obatobe warned us, nobody should communicate with the men on ground. Nobody should communicate with the men on ground. Some people did not take that instruction. They were communicating and they were hiding it. They were recording it and keeping it somewhere. And today they are speaking, showing us evidence. At a time, Obatobie warned us because they wanted to come from that angle. He warned us. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear. Don't make mistake. Follow who know road. All I'm saying is, follow who know road. There is no change in camp. There is no fallback to fall to. We shall remain where we are until Obatobie comes to join us. If you are wise, that's the best decision to make. That's the best argument to make. Say, when Obatobie comes back, he will now sit down to go through the two jobs. The work of Dr. Ngozi Orabueze and the work of Ogenkere. And at the end, you'll be the judgment. You'll be the one, he'll be the one to say yes or no. That's how it works. I love you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High Himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake, Biafra will come. Because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. Our enemies are equally important and because they must listen. Those who do not love the truth must listen. Those who are beholden to darkness, they must also listen. For we are here to bring light upon a very darkened continent without Biafra. Africa is nothing without Biafra. There is no difference between a black man and a wild animal in the forest. We say every shred with every ounce of conviction. I welcome each and every one of you. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is Radio Biafra. This is how we do it. We magnify the name of the Most High before we do anything. That is why we are exceptionally formidable. That is why